Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and ever since 7.0, if you guys are anything like me, you have probably spent a lot of time collecting transmog gear. So what I want to do for you guys in this video is show you the location for every single PvP set for every single season throughout the entire game. And we're going to start at vanilla, as you guys can see right here, and we're going to move chronologically through each season and each set throughout the entire game all the way up into Warlords of Draenor. I'm going to show you guys where to buy each one of them and how much each one costs. Now, if you already know this from previous, before 7.0, there have been some changes. The old new Wrathful PvP weapons have been added back into the game, so pay attention for that. That's going to be about, I'd say like somewhere around like 7 minutes in. So I'm over here in Area 52, and I'm picking up all of the vanilla PvP weapons and all of the vanilla PvP armor. Now, you do have to have a certain RBG rating to pick some of this stuff up. I believe it's either 1700 or 1800. And this is also where you get a lot of the gear from Burning Crusade as well, although there are other places to get that. So anyway, this is one of the main places to get all of that set. Now, there are some other pieces for vanilla PvP that you can also buy inside of Stormwind in the Champions Hall. Now, some of these pieces are not transmoggable. I believe that these Marshals and Plate Marshals gear is not transmoggable. You have to get the replica stuff, and so that's where the RBG rating requirement comes in. But you can get the old Sergeant's Heavy Cloak and the Sergeant's Cape. I remember old Asmongold used to have that whenever I was like level 21 or something. So it was very, very nostalgic. That's why I had to zoom in on a little bit there whenever I first equipped it. And also there's a vendor on the other side here, and he sells, this is a tabard, so it's not really too important, but he does sell the tabard if you'd like to really go old school with that too. And by the way, the currency that you use to buy a lot of this stuff is called Marks of Honor, and you receive Marks of Honor through winning an unrated battleground. And so you do have to win a pretty good amount of these unrated battlegrounds to collect all of the pieces of gear, but that's obviously what you have to do if you want to get the pieces of gear. So after that, we're going to be going back over to Area 52 to take a look at all of the Burning Crusade gear. So we're going to look at Season 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so this is where you get the Season 1 gear, and this isn't the only place where you can get some of this gear. I'm going to show you guys alternative locations in just a second here. So right here, you talk to these guys, and obviously the Gladiator gear, Merciless gear, you guys can figure that out. And he sells all of the offset pieces as well as all of the gear, and you talk to this guy who sells all of the offset pieces and all of the gear for Season 2, the Merciless season. And by the way, fun fact, not really too fun because it's the same stuff, is that the Seasons 1 and Season 2 gear, the weapons are basically identical. Now, Season 3, Vengeful, you can buy it from that guy right there. All of the gear is very different. And then you go over to Season 4 gear, the Brutal gear, and I remember that. I should have bought that Mason's. No, never mind. The sword was way better. So anyway, there's the Brutal gear right there, and you can go ahead and pick that up for, again, a pretty good amount of Marks of Honor. But if you're just working at things, maybe like 1 or 2 a day or so, it should go by with no problem whatsoever. I tried to buy as many of these as possible before the season was over. Now I'm over here in the Isle of Qualdanis, and I can buy some of the other pieces for the gear. You can see right there where I am. I'm in the top level of that other building on, the left side facing out of the large building with the inn in it. And so you can see right here, the Gladiator gear is also purchasable with the tokens that you receive through Tier 4 equivalent content, because Gladiator gear was Tier 4 equivalent, and so the chest piece is from, I believe, Magtheridon, the legs are from Grill's Lair, the shoulders were from High King Mulgar, the gloves are from, I believe, Curator or somebody else, and the helm is from Prince Malchazar. And now you have the chest piece, the legs, and this is all the Merciless gear, as you guys can see. And that gear is also, that's the Tier 5 equivalent, and so I believe the shoulders are from Fathom Ward Cataclysmic. I don't really remember, honestly, guys. It's been quite a long time. If I had to sit down and remember it, I probably would, but I think I'm going to embarrass myself in the middle of the video. You can go ahead and just click on those and obtain the Tier 5 gear and turn it in to get that same gear without having to farm out all of the battlegrounds. Now, over here on the other side, this is where you can buy a lot of the same offset pieces. Like those boots are the offset pieces for the Merciless gear Season 2, and you can buy that with just straight up gold, so you don't have to use any of your marks there. And you can also trade in some of this stuff, the belts and the boots and the bracers, and obviously you don't want to care about the bracers, but you can trade those in if you do Sunwell and pick up the pieces from there and take those over to this vendor and turn these in and redeem them for the PvP equivalent set pieces, to where again you don't have to use the Marks of Honor. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Wrath of Lich King stuff. We're over here in the Silver Enclave, and this is where you buy pretty much all of the Wrath of the Lich King PvP gear. Now, as you can see, there's the Savage gear. Now, the Savage gear, a lot of people might not remember this, but the Savage gear was kind of like the initial starting out gear for Wrath of the Lich King. It wasn't very good, but it was just kind of the starting out pieces of gear. So you can buy that right there. Over here, this is where you can buy the Hateful gear. Now, this was officially, I guess, like I guess like tier. I don't really know if it's like the season, what would that be, like season 5 gear? It's kind of like season 4.5 gear. And then on the other side, you can get the Deadly gear, which is the official season 5 gear. And you can text, I guess, like control click and see what any of this stuff looks like. And so you don't necessarily have to, I guess, like buy it all out like I do. But the good thing about this is that you can buy it all out with gold. And so you can basically get an entire set here for only maybe like 600 or 700 gold. Very, very lucrative, very, very efficient. Now the next set, season 6, is going to be the Furious set, and you buy it from this vendor right here for, again, gold. Now if you're short on gold and you do have marks, there is a place where you can get them for marks, I do believe. So you can pick up all the Furious set gear, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure you're not able to turn in, because Furious is the Old War equivalent, I'm pretty sure you're not able to turn in Old War tier tokens for Furious gear, unfortunately. Now over here, we're talking to the guy in the middle, and he sells the Relentless gear, which is the TOC, Trial of the Crusader equivalent gear. Relentless gear I always saw looked pretty fucking cool. It looked like kind of an attack beetle. You know, an attack beetle. So I'm definitely, well, I already collected it before this thing even came out. So you can tell I obviously do like a lot. Now this is where the new shit comes in, guys. So pay attention. Down here in the bottom of the sewers in Dalaran, you come up here and you talk to these little fucking gnomes, and they sell you all of the different Deadly Gladiator, Furious Gladiator, Relentless Gladiator, and Wrathful Gladiator gear. Okay, and not only did they sell the gear, but they also sell the weapons. The weapons were taken out of the game. Many of the weapons were taken out of the game. Patch 7.0 reintroduced many of those weapons into the game again, and so that's really, really awesome. So more things that we can collect, more things that we can farm out, and you are not able to obtain the elite versions of many of those pieces, but you are able to obtain at least like some of the, I guess like not the, what were those? Furious would be 239, and then 258, and then, yeah. So you're not able to obtain like the 239 Furious gear or the 258 Relentless gear, but you are able to obtain some of the original pieces like that mace or axe or whatever. Looks very, very cool. Those are the maces, the Furious maces. You guys saw I've used those because I collected those and held on to those since Wrath of the Lich King. It was always really cool to have something unique, but I'm willing to trade off that little bit of uniqueness to be able to have all of these other really, really cool different transmogs, especially like that fucking axe. So you can pick all of this stuff up down at the bottom on the sewers of Dalaran, and each of these again usually costs about 3 to 5 different marks of conquest. And I do believe, by the way, guys, I do believe that this vendor right here is the only place where you can get the Wrathful gear, and so I don't think that you can buy the Wrathful gear for gold, but don't quote me on that. There's also an entry-level Burning Crusade PvP set. I just remembered this right now. An entry-level Burning Crusade PvP set that you buy from the vendors if you get the different reputation from the TBC vendors, or different TBC factions, but it's not really too important. I do want to say that right now. That's why I didn't include it in the video. Now we're back over here at the Champions Hall, and this is where you buy all the Vicious gear. Now there are 2 places where you can buy a lot of this gear, and there's also, on top of the Vicious gear, there is the Bloodthirsty gear that's in the back here, and I'm about to show you guys that. I'm pretty sure, no, it's Ruthless gear. Ruthless gear is, let's say, season 9. So this is season 10 gear, and I really wish that there was a way that I could get the rest of the elite set for this armor, because I have some of the pieces, but I don't have all of them. And right across the steps there is where you get the season 11 gear, the Cataclysmic gear, and that honestly, like, this is one of my favorite sets. I really, really do like the Cataclysmic gear, and I was smart enough, I had the foresight to actually hold on to all of the pieces of it for the elite set, so I'm very, very proud of that. Down here in the back is where you can buy the Bloodthirsty gear. Now the Bloodthirsty gear was the equivalent of the Hateful, I think it was the Hateful gear, or no, it was the Bloodthirsty, whatever it is. It's like kind of, it was the entry level PvP gear for Cataclysm, and it is a little bit different color than the Vicious gear. And also, I'm going to show you guys another place where you can pick up any of this gear that's not exactly in the same location. And those are where the heirlooms are, by the way, and I don't really know if you can buy those in any other location. And so there's another place in Tanaris, and I actually didn't even know about this, but it's over in, I believe, Gadgetzan. Yeah, it's Gadgetzan, and it has all of the little gnomes all in a little row. It's got the Bloodthirsty gnome, the Vicious gnome, the Relentless gnome, Ruthless gnome, sorry, the Ruthless gnome, and also the Cataclysmic gnome. So you can go ahead and if you're over in Gadgetzan, or you find this more convenient for whatever reason, you can pick up the gear right here as well. Or if one of the vendors doesn't have a certain piece, you can check this vendor anyway. Now let's go ahead and move over to the Mists of Pandaria gear. Now there's five, I believe, different sets of Mists of Pandaria gear. The first one is the Dreadful gear. Now you can actually, I believe that you can craft some of this gear, the crafted Malevolent gear, which looks the exact same as the Dreadful gear, but if you don't want to craft it, if you're not a blacksmith or you're not able to get that stuff, I don't quote me on that though, by the way. I think that you're able to, but you can pick up the Dreadful gear, which was kind of the I guess like the entry level PvP gear for Mists of Pandaria. And by the way, that's where I am in between I guess like the Valley of the Four Winds and Dreadwaste, and also right down in like the little, I guess like they all connect for the Vale of the Eternal Blossoms. And so over here, we're having a little bit of lag right now, so I do apologize, a little bit of technical difficulties. And this is the Malevolent Quartermaster, and this is obviously the guy that sells the Malevolent gear, which is the first tier of PvP gear in Mists of Pandaria. I actually thought this gear looked pretty fucking cool. I really like this set. I always really wish there was a shield to go along with it, or something. It made me feel kind of like a Roman soldier, or something like that, like a Spartan soldier. So I really wish that they, at some point, there's a shield that goes along with that matches very well. Now, after the Malevolent gear, you can go ahead and pick up the Tyrannical gear on the other side, which is the TOT equivalent gear. And I think this is the worst set that they've ever made. I really do. They've really outdid themselves. It's the worst set they ever made. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I do believe that they did make up for it with the Grevious gear. Now, I do think the Grevious gear is very, very cool. I'll show you guys what it looks like. There it is. This is the Grevious gear vendor. And I really, really like it. Okay, I think it's very, very cool. I think honestly, I think the purple or the green set is even a little bit cooler, which is the Prideful set, which is the equivalent to the Siege of Orgrimmar gear right here. And one of the shoulders turns green. It just looks awesome in my opinion. I think this set looks really, really cool. So, unfortunately, the Tyrannical gear sucks, but at least the Furious and the Grevious gear does look really cool. Or not Furious, the Prideful and the Grevious gear looks cool. Now, obviously, we're going to go to the same place that a lot of you guys have probably been spending the past 2 years at, which is over in Stormshield, and this is where you buy all the Primal, Wild, and Warmongering Gladiators gear. You can buy that entire set, just with the 12 coins or the 80 coins for all the different weapons. I don't know if you buy the weapons, if that applies the weapons to every single type of weapon, even ones that character can't use, right? Like wands, if you buy it as a warrior, I cannot confirm that. So if somebody in the comments can confirm that, I would appreciate that a lot. And that's where you buy all the Primal gear. And then over on the other side with the outdated equipment, you can buy all of the Wild gear. And you also have the ability to buy the, I guess like the ensembles or the armaments or whatever it's called. What's it really called? I have no idea. But you can buy all of the armor or all of the weapons at the same time for a larger amount of the coins. Now in the front here, you of course have the Warmongering gear, which is the same thing, and of course right next to it, that's the blue gear, which basically looks the same as the blue gear for the Primal gear. And so the blue gear is basically the same for all of the different sets, I believe. But there's the actual Warmongering gear, and as a little bit different colored weapons, and as well as a little bit different colored armor. So anyway, guys, that's where you get every single PvP set for each season in the game. If I forgot anything, please go ahead and let me know. But if not, thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.